Looks like we found our spot. Can't say anything, but it's pretty flat. It's solid. Doesn't look too rocky, so should be good. Alright, let's get in back. Alright guys, welcome back. So, today I'm back in Wales. I'm actually about, let's say, 3 miles from where I camped last time I was here. As you can see, the weather is quite a bit better. There's barely a breath of wind right now. I'm probably still going to get some stones to put over the guys just in case. I think in the morning the wind's supposed to pick back up, but no rain, nothing like that. Definitely much colder though. We're getting into the winter season now, but for the most part I'll take a dry hike any day. But yeah, as for views, nothing really now. Once we got up into the cloud, as you probably saw on the hike, the visibility is next to nothing. Really, I figured out the position and everything with the compass and GPS to see that hopefully, if the skies are clear in the morning, I should get a good view. Alright, so let's get back in the tent and find some stones. Alright, so I figured I'd give you a little tour of the area. Again, nothing much to see, but we're covered in cloud right now. Sunrise should be in this direction with Trifon off in the distance. It's the flattest spot I could find. It was a bit rocky, so it was tricky getting some of the guys and some of the stakes in the base of the tent, but I was able to make it work. But because some of them are maybe not as far in as I'd like, or the ground may have just been a little softer than I like, I am going to put some stones on each. And luckily, I saw some stones walking in over there. So let's head over there now and get some. I am going to try to do this quickly because even though it's not raining, it is really cold and the cloud is actually starting to get everything pretty soaked, even my camera. So I want to try to make this as quick as possible. So it looks like we could probably pick some stones from right here. And it's not too short of a walk over to the tent, so let's go ahead and do that. Direction the wind's actually coming from. So I'll put some of the larger ones that I found over here. That should definitely be heavy enough. Alright, so just take a look here at what we did. So got them around the edges. Like I said, the larger ones are up here. The wind's coming from this direction. And again, still no view, but it's definitely starting to get colder. Looks like these clouds are sticking around, even though the forecast said it would be a clear night. But it hasn't been clear the entire day. So, all right, let's get in the tent. Try to get warmed up. It's actually starting to get really cold. My hands are freezing from touching those rocks. And we'll start cooking dinner soon. All right. Oh wow. Even just being out of the small wind that's actually here and not in the moist cloud feels a lot warmer, especially inside here. So I think tonight the temperature is supposed to get down to about freezing, so I am going to probably close the door tonight after we cook. I just wanted to say also, thank you so much for all the feedback, the kind comments, the likes, the subscribes, and everything is really overwhelming. You know, I've been putting out videos for, I guess, about a year now. I don't put them out very often. I have 2 small children, and they're in tons of extracurricular activities in school, so our weekends and evenings are kind of booked, so I really can't get out as much as I'd like to. So I know videos don't come out every week like a lot of other people on YouTube. Really, this is more just a hobby for me. I enjoy filming, I enjoy taking photos, and most of all I enjoy this. So I'm trying to kind of combine the two and create a video journal for myself, really. That's how it started. But you know, I ended up posting it online because so many people you know, I've watched over the years really, you know, give me inspiration to get out here myself. And when I'm stuck inside because I can't get out, it's really cool to kind of escape and go on these adventures with them. So if I could do that for anyone else, that would just be awesome. And that was kind of the reason why I did start posting them onto YouTube, to hopefully inspire someone, anyone who watched it. I guess a lot more people watching now, so that's really cool. So yeah, I really appreciate all the support, and everyone's been so kind, so thank you. Alright, I'm hungry. Let's get cooking. So, it's getting dark quick now that we're getting into winter. It's only 4 o'clock and the sun goes down in 10 minutes. Not that you'd be able to tell, but it has gotten quite a bit darker in the area, so I want to make sure I can get back to my tent while it's still light, because the visibility, is absolutely terrible. So I'm just over there. I'm gonna pick up a trail not too far in this direction. It actually will lead me to a stream that runs into one of the lens that's up here on the plateau. So I should have got water. I don't know what I was thinking as I was coming to find this spot, but I didn't, so that's why we're doing it now, quickly, before we run out of daylight. All right, here we go. Not the fastest flowing stream, but should do. The lens just right over here. You can't really see it, but you can actually hear the water flowing a little bit faster up closer to it. All right, let's get some water. Okay, good to go. So I do have about a liter of water I hike in with, and then I believe I mentioned this last camp, if I know I'm going to be near a water source, which here there's streams everywhere, I'll bring only about a liter, and then I'll just get the rest throughout the day usually smaller sips and things like that. If I find myself near a water source or from my bladder that's in my bag. Cloud cover is pretty thick. You actually should be able to see Snowdon off in the distance in that direction. Hopefully in the morning on the hike out, we can actually see that. That way I can kind of give you guys a better bearing of where I'm at. So most of you probably already know this, but I can't stress the importance of having a compass or GPS, or even your cell phone really, with a map pre-downloaded onto it when you get into conditions like this, because you know, trying to find your way around or get a bearing when you can't see anything can be pretty tough, and you don't want to get lost or walk in the wrong direction for too long when it's cold like this, or if it's raining and the weather's even worse. So definitely make sure you have one of those. I, in fact, got myself turned around and started walking on another trail after I picked up water. I'm back on trail. I was able to just quickly look at my phone, which, like I said, has a GPS map already downloaded on it, so I could see what direction I needed to walk. But definitely could be dangerous if you don't have something like that when you walk away from camp, even if it's for a second, when it looks like this. So the tent should be off in the distance this way, should almost be there. Probably won't be able to see it though until we're 20 feet from it. I believe it's just around this corner here. All right, here we are, home sweet home for the night. I know you guys probably like the wild weather camps, the rain, the wind, and all that. And I like that too. It makes for a fun trip, but it is also nice to sometimes just get a nice calm night like this, preferably with some visibility, but just so you can relax, unwind, hear yourself think. I do have earplugs, even though I probably won't even need them. Yeah. All right, see, I'm already talking too much. Let's get in the tent, start cooking. As soon as I get settled, I usually like to go ahead and send a message to my wife, kids, just letting them know I'm okay. That's when these things really come in handy. I mean, everyone knows what they are, but the Garmin InReach, you know, you pay a little bit, but the peace of mind, especially when you're doing a hike like this, and when you're in areas where there's no cell phone reception, this is really one of the reasons why my wife even lets me go on trips like this. This is one of the first things she bought me years ago, to make sure I could let her know I was okay, because half the places I go don't have cell phone reception. But it's great. You can just send a preloaded message just with one button, and it's all good. Still cold. So tonight on the menu, we have Philly cheesesteaks with waffle fries. And for dessert, we have Love and Hate New England IPA, 7.2% by Vocation. And another Vocation, Hop, Skip, and Juice Hazy Pale Ale, 5.7%. So the reason I'm boiling the potatoes first to make these little homemade waffle fries is because I don't actually have enough oil to go in the pan, and I really wouldn't want to deal with the mess of bringing too much oil. So I'm cooking them first in the water just to really cook them through, and then I'm going to end up searing them and giving the crunch later. So while the potatoes are heating through, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting the onion for the cheesesteak. So while we're waiting on the potatoes to finish cooking through, so let's dig into one of these. So this one's Hop, Skip, and Juice Hazy Pale Ale by Vocation, 5.7%. Oh yeah. Cheers. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the fries first, or chips as my kids call them. Do a little Tetris to get them all to fit in the pan here. I'll be able to move them around. It's a little uneven, so I'm just rotating it every 10 seconds or so just to get the rest of them in the oil. The one that was left over on the plate I finished. I was just too hungry. So they should be almost ready to flip anytime now. Not the prettiest transition. All right, 2 Philly cheesesteaks, some waffle fries. Not a bad meal for the top of a mountain. No rain. It is cold, but yeah, it's quiet. Hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep after a nice meal. So good. I'll be honest, I took a bite before I turned on the camera. I was so hungry. Alright. I'm gonna enjoy my beer, my 2 Philly cheesesteaks, some chips. Yeah, and I'll get back to you in a little bit. Oh, one other thing. These cool little waffle chips, fries, whatever you want to call them, totally not my idea. I actually saw this, I want to say it was on Instagram, just randomly, mindlessly scrolling through things, and yeah, I saw someone do this once, and it stuck with me. Yeah, it turned out really well. I would highly recommend this. And if you don't want to have to deep fry them, because I think you're supposed to take 2 forks and kind of expand the fry when you put it in the oil to kind of give it the more of the waffle fry look. But if you boil it first in water to cook the potato through, you can then just sear it in a pan. Definitely probably a lot easier with a bigger pan, but yeah, it turns out really well, and they're really crispy and tasty. So, yep. All right, I'm going to get back to this. I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right. Bed's all squared away. It's really interesting. You always try to like find a flat spot. You know, laying down ahead of time and all that, but even then, when you finally get your mat blown up and you lay down for the first time, it's not very flat. It's good though. My head's slightly higher, which is how I would like it if it's not completely flat. But there's there's all kinds of stones and rocks and different things like that. So I'm trying to push the pad in at an angle, and it should be fine. I've definitely slept in worse, but it's just funny how that always works out. So this is a regular wide pad that I use, but I've always found that it's not quite long enough. If I'm laying on my back, it's fine because my feet are up in the air. But if I spin and lay on my stomach, I always notice that my feet end up sticking off. So one of the things I like to do is I'll take my sit pad and I'll just kind of put that at the end. So that way, inevitably, when I do toss and turn at night and my feet end up off the mat, that way at least they're not touching the cold ground, which is significantly colder now than it's been. All right. So I think I'm actually going to head to bed a little bit earlier tonight. I actually have to, the hike took about, I don't know, 2.5 hours, I want to say. 2.5 hours, so not too bad. And it was pretty much straight up this last portion, so it'll definitely be faster going down tomorrow, but I want to try to get to bed a little bit earlier because it is a school night, and my wife's going to drop the kids off at school tomorrow, but I'll have to pick them up, and it was probably about a 4-hour drive to get here, so I just want to make sure I get there on time. So I'll probably set an alarm, wake up a little bit earlier than the sunrise, get a coffee, get packed up, and get a move on so I can make sure I'm there. So, last beer, Vocation Love and Hate New England IPA. This is 7.2%, so hopefully that'll help me get to sleep. Cheers. Oh man, that one's good. Yeah, these Vocation ones, I've had them before. I just haven't had these two. Yeah, they're really nice beers. It doesn't taste like a 7.2%. It's nice. Alright guys, I think I'm going to head to bed now. I realized I didn't even talk about the hike today at all. So it's pretty much because I was just so winded. I was trying to save my breath because I knew I was going up Devil's Kitchen today. So I parked the car around Lynn Ogwen, and then I came up, looped around Lid Idwal. I hope I'm saying these names right. I do apologize if I'm not. And then up Devil's Kitchen, which is more of a scramble than an actual hike. Once I got up to the plateau, I headed toward Wygarn, and I'm actually kind of I'm probably about 250, 200 feet off the summit. So the plan is I'm going to wake up tomorrow around 5:30. I set the alarm for. I'm going to head up Wygarn. Hopefully I can catch a sunrise if the clouds lift. And then the plan is to go down the ridge back down to Lynn Ogwen, where I parked the car. So, yeah. So I'll wake up early, make the coffee in here. I don't know if you guys will get to see the actual takedown. It should be light enough, but we'll see. And then I'm going to get moving because, like I said, I have to do a 4-hour drive back to pick up my kids. I want to make sure I can get back on time in lieu of any traffic or anything like that. All right, so yeah, I'm going to probably zip this in a little bit more. I'll probably leave this one open just for condensation. I can already see some of it forming, which is to be expected. There's absolutely zero wind, and it's actually not even that much, but zero wind, and it's a lot colder out. So this might actually turn to frost in the morning. I don't know. It is supposed to get around freezing, so we'll see. All right, I'll catch you guys in the morning. Night.
morning. It's around 5:45. Kept hitting snooze. Slept well last night though. As you can hear, there's really no wind at all. Ooh, it's cold outside the sleeping bag though. From the looks of it, yeah, there's condensation inside the tent, but that's to be expected. It's not frozen though, so it doesn't look like it got down to freezing like it was forecast to. So that's good, I guess. All right, let's get that coffee going. Nice thing though is even when I do get condensation inside this tent, which again, when it's cold like this, it's to be expected. The inner is always completely dry. And there's actually not even that much on the outer fly. If it was a little windy, it probably wouldn't even have any of this, but it's all good. Alright. Try to do this without even getting out of my sleeping bag. Stove is freezing cold, the canister, so I'm trying to warm it up with my hand a little bit here. It should be okay though. I've been liking these coffee bags lately, but I still prefer the disposable pour-over coffees a little bit better. I just haven't had a chance to order any lately. Oh, so good. I don't know about you guys, but I need a cup of coffee as soon as I wake up. Before I can do anything, it feels like. Oh well, I don't know if that's getting old or if that's just addiction. I think it's just addiction. But either way, I need it and I really enjoy my morning cup of coffee. Probably one of the worst parts about packing up in the morning. Deflating the tent and then being on the cold ground again. But it helps get you out of bed, that's for sure. Alright, so I won't bore you with the pack up like I think I normally do. I'm going to try to get everything in the bag and then I'll get back with you when we're ready for the tent. And hopefully we get some light. It's still dark out, but hopefully the visibility improves so we can actually see the surroundings a bit better. Alright, pretty much all packed up. I just have a few things out, and I'll keep those in the vestibule with the pack until I take the tent down, and then I like to put the tent in and then those on top, so the bulk of the weight's in the center of my back. Yeah, so get the coat on, head outside, hopefully start seeing some views, see where we camped last night, since we couldn't see it all last night when setting up. Alright.
Well, this would have been a nice way to end the evening. Last night ended up picking a pretty decent spot. Just couldn't see any of it. White Garn's just up that way. So I think change of plans, because White Garn is covered in clouds still, and this appears to be clear. We're gonna head back down this way to Devil's Kitchen. Head down and just save White Garn for another day. Stunning. Stop getting distracted by the views. So, last trip, Trefon is that peak right over there. Just over that ridge in front of it, I was camped at a linn in that area. It's gorgeous. Alright, finally, let's do the tent. Big difference packing up the tent this time around. Barely any wind, no rain. Oh, I love winter camping. If it's a little bit colder, any precipitation turns to snow, that's even better than rain. Wow. What a beautiful place. So one of the things I like to do is I'll keep one of the guys for the door. I'll keep that out, and once I have the tent rolled up, I'll roll it from the toe end forward. Then I'll wrap that around so that way when I unpack it, I know which way the door goes. But this is all going to get unpacked as soon as I get home anyway. I'm going to set the tent up, I'll dry it out, and that's when I'll pack it away neatly. But that's something I always do at home. That way I know how, or the orientation that I'm going to pitch the tent next time. So, I don't know, helpful tip. Most of you probably do this anyway, so. Alright, let's get going. Alright, as you can see, I'm back on the path. I know I'm showing a lot of the views now because I couldn't really show you anything other than Devil's Kitchen coming up yesterday. So I'm kind of taking it all in as well. I figured I'd share. Wow, what a beautiful place though. It's incredible. I couldn't see any of this yesterday. Nothing but cloud. Look at that. There's another Lynn here. This is actually where I went to get water yesterday evening. You can see the path is almost a stream in and of itself. So we're gonna head back down this way, around, and then down through Devil's Kitchen. I'll probably show you guys the view going down Devil's Kitchen again, and maybe we'll get a sunrise. All right, get back with you soon. So just for reference, we were camped somewhere in this area, just down from the summit. Hello. So, walking up this yesterday, this was all in cloud. You couldn't see anything. Now look at it. It's gorgeous. Just to give you an idea of Devil's Kitchen, when it's not covered in fog, it's quite the steep way down. Incredible though. I'm glad I came this way. I can see why Garn, if that's how it's even pronounced, is still covered in clouds. So this ends up being a much prettier hike down, and I can actually see it now. And yesterday I couldn't. Absolutely incredible. All right. I'll probably get back to you in a little bit. Pit stop. Getting a little too warm now. All right, let's get going. So normally having the tripod and using it as a trekking pole helps, but in an instance like this, where basically have to go straight down scrambling, makes it a bit more of a hindrance. So we just came from up there, up around this large rock. What a difference it makes though when it's not cloudy and raining. If I'm all grins, It's because I was hoping to see this yesterday, and I'm glad I'm getting to see it today. All right, I'm gonna try to figure out going down this now. Catch you in a little bit. So that's what we just came down. Bit steep. A little bit more to go. Give you an idea of what the trail looks like. Again, not much of a trail in some areas. Almost there. Alright guys, back in the car, another trip on the books. Hopefully you liked it. I know a lot of you like the crazy weather camps. I like watching them too, but sometimes it's nice to just have these nice calm ones where you can actually sleep at night and you're not soaking wet by the time you get in the tent. But anyway, yeah, so again, I appreciate all the support in the comments. It's been really nice talking to a lot of you. So if you have any questions or anything, or you just want to say hi, please say something in the comments. And yeah, that's it for this one. All right, please like, share, and get outside. Later.